Welcome back to Flexbone 101. Today we are continuing our lower level play calling series where I go over and analyze game film of where I am calling sophomore games as a way to, well, let's get into it, right? So the points of the series, we want to help new play callers. Right, here's what I'm seeing. Here are the mistakes I made so that you hopefully don't make them in the future. We're really going to focus on strategy. You know, there might be a few personnel issues or assignments that I call out. But, you know, we're going to go into it thinking, you know, all the Jimmies and the Joes are the same. So I'm going to try not to call out individuals. And in terms of scouting, if you're on this channel, you know what I run. So I'm not super worried about that. Also, we're now in, January. So we're in the off season. I'm a little late on getting to these. My apologies. But anything from here is not going to be much help to you. So without further ado, we are going to get into our film. All right. So this is against Mount Carmel. If you are from the Chicago area, you are probably familiar with Mount Carmel. They are a very storied program. Their current head coach is Jordan Lynch, who was a finalist for the Heisman a few years back. And this game actually took place before we upset them on the varsity level for the arguably biggest win in program history. So that was really exciting. This game from the sophomore level, far less exciting. So first play and first coaching point, I called a pass. They run a 3-4, right? They've got their two high safeties. We're going to motion a guy here. I was expecting, you know, this guy to bump over, and we were going to roll this guy right down the seam. I thought we could hit them on the first play for a big gain. I was wrong. And I'll show you how wrong I was. So there was no rotation. And typically, let's run that back. When we run this route, this guy stood right over the top of it. We do tell our A-back, if he sees that guy over him, we do want to bend it inside of him to try to get open. What we don't want to do, which actually happened, is turn this into like a post. So really you're dragging two safeties there. Honestly, you know, they did what I coached them to. Honestly, it was a bad play call. I really should have seen what they were doing first. So the first coaching point, and I'll do it in the recap later, is don't call the shot early, right? You might think like I did, that you could do that faster, or, you know, get out to a quick start, but it's really not worth the, you know, potential turnover that you're going to get. And ideally, you'll see here, this is where the A-back actually does exactly what he's supposed to, trying to get right at the seam. If this ball is thrown right away here, this is probably a good completion, but we do hold on to it too long, and it gets a little ugly. I really wish I had that one back, even now months later. So I, as a coach, didn't put my kids in a good position. So that happens. So we get to start over into the next possession. I forget if they score or they turn over. I actually don't remember. And we were using our huddle focus camera, and it also has a tendency, especially early in the season, to miss plays. So I don't remember what I called on first down. This is 2nd and 9. I come out in over. Now, I did not start off really well this game because if you notice on our over, they have walked their safeties over which is one way to play it. But not only that, but they also apexed. So we are now out leveraged out to this side. So immediately, I should have noticed this and called the play away from it because I was running rocket to this thinking we would catch them. We caught them, just we ran the wrong direction. So this is going to be rocket going this way, when really it should have been, if we could run rocket coming this way, if we could get a quick block here on this corner, we have the potential for a big play. But instead, we do all right. We get a few blocks. It turns into a positive play, but that was more due to our players executing and not so much my play calling. So luckily, I get bailed out there every time. Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. So now we had success running rocket. We run a quick boot pass off of it, so you'll see him going that way, and ideally the quarterback's going to come, and the B-back should be able to get here in the flat. B-back gets a little bit wide, if I recall correctly, on this play, but we don't get a good block from the tackle, and we wind up getting a free release rusher on the quarterback, and this winds up being an incomplete pass, I'm pretty sure. Or a sack, I lied. And that's third... or first down? Oh, right, because we got the first on the last one. All right. Next play, we're going to run mid-triple to the left. Again, they have an apex, and they roll this safety over, but they don't bring this safety into the middle. Or actually, let's see, where's that guy standing? He's a little off-center, but that's fine. So mid-triple, this, against any three-man front, I like midline, I like mid-triple. Let's see, I forget exactly what happens here. So we get a give read. Let's see if that's a good read. Yeah, he comes up field. And we kind of run right into the back of the block. That's actually not a bad play. That worked overall, especially because they didn't cheat that safety, or backside safety, further over. Now we're going to get a post, so 112. We're trying to run a post look here. Again, let's see how this works out for us. Ooh, we did not get great pass protection, so that happens, although it does look like he wound up being double teamed, so I'm not too upset about that. So that's the end of that possession. Move, we are running mid-triple to the left. So it looks like they're still in their three-man front. Did they? So they have a shaded nose. So typically, in the first drive, that nose was right here. They've now kicked him over, which you can still run midline. You can still run mid-triple to this. This is kind of weird, I guess. What do they have here? They've got a 5. He might be a 2, and might be a 2 over here. So I guess they've kicked down into a 4-man front, theoretically. Not the best play call. So we wind up doubling at the point of attack. So I just don't think we blocked this super well. Oh, that's even worse. Hold on. So we don't pull it. Quarterback keeps... All right. I don't think we run a play here, do we? No, we wind up jumping off sides, or may have been a timeout. I forget exactly what it was. So now we're going to run. We're in trips, so you'll notice that their adjustment to trips is the same as over, right? They've kind of got this guy's playing out here. He's not quite apex, but they do kick the safety out. We are trying to run midline right to this, which should be a decent look for us. wind up getting a give read. I will say Mount Carmel's a very good program. So, you know, all things being equal, it would probably look different, but they're very talented. And they always are. So now we're going to run Smash out of a slightly condensed set on this hash. So we should have a hitch here and a corner route here. He gets a little held on the corner. Okay, so let's look here. We're running Smash. Okay. What I want to talk about. So, at this level, especially, let's see, how far does this corner start? This corner is actually fairly close. So he's at 5 yards, but he's bailing. So he's bailing. If you know you have your hitch 6 to 5, this guy's open right now. However, it looks like the pocket's not great. Our quarterback isn't 6'4". So in a perfect world, quarterback should be reading this guy anytime you're running Smash. This hitch is open. You want to try to steal that hitch, especially into the boundary. We held on the corner, which at that point our quarterback's already flushed. He's not going to hit the corner. All right, so now we're going to run a counter play. So if we're running AISO right, that's our high school terminology. If you follow the channel, that's probably new, might be new to you. But if we're running that to the right, we're going to make this look like triple left, and then we're going to try to run this guy that way, which they're kind of over pursuing. We're in a balanced set. They've got their nose guard back here. It's basically one block, and this is a nice play. Ooh, how? Okay, so we condensed down on this D tackle. So this guy winds up making the play. Our A back here, if he stays tight and gets anything on this guy, it's probably a bigger play. But instead, right, you'll see all the action goes away. Linebacker bites really bad, right? Here's that hole if we get a block on that edge guy, but we don't. And again, this is slightly early in the season, sophomore football. I'm chalking that up to coaching and experience. So you can see, we're a few drives in. Haven't been overly successful. Spoiler alert, rest of the game kind of goes that way. So I fall in love with mid triple again because this guy's back real tight, which is good. So if this is dive, this is pitch. We are running out of over, which again, I should have run this to the other side. What do we get here? So they're sitting. Oh, this should have been a give. How do we... Oh, we actually let this nose guard comes across face and almost interrupts the mesh. This should be a nice play. Right there with this guy coming in and this guy boxing. That's a good give read. We just aren't able to make the read. Disappointing. All right, so I've gone to trips. We've got a play here. Oh, we're actually an empty. We put that in this week, and we were like, you know what? I think at this point we're down a couple scores already, and we're like, let's try it. And we had kind of played around with it, and I'm going to chalk this up again to coaching. Part of the reason I dragged my feet on doing this week is I did not call the best game. There are better games coming, I promise. But we kind of played with, is this going to be a seam? Should this be kind of a quick hit? Should this be more of a now? I forget what we wound up. Let's see how this works. So notice, again, empty. So we've got, this would be a traditional trips. You've got an A back here, an A back here. And then all we did is we moved the B back out into the slot here. So if you do want to go empty ever, it is a good look, and you can play with it a few different ways. But that's just how we did it for the sake of this play, because we knew that they might lose track of everyone. Okay, so we do wind up making a little bit of a hitch. Ball could have been thrown faster. It also could have been caught. Again, more mad at myself than anything. So over right, rocket right. We're outflanked here. Again, I need to get better. I need to have coaches help me out. Anyone who's called plays knows you've got a million things running through your head between where you're at on the field, substitutions, clock, timeouts, right? Everything going on. Really, this should have been the first thing I noticed. But what can you say? It's really... Well, actually, if that had gone to the outside here... So I think we get a decent block. It almost takes two guys. I would have liked one guy to come off. But if our rocket continues outside of this block, I think it probably turns out better. We had a tendency to cut that up a little too early. Anyone who's calling plays for the first time, when you call plays, everything goes so fast. Like when you talk about guys going from college to the pros and the speed of the game. The speed of the game when you're calling plays is very different. There's a lot of times where it's like, I don't even know who has the ball, where it's going, who got a block. You know, you're kind of laser focused on one thing, and even sometimes you can't pay attention to that one thing. So a zone call, zone left here, right? We should get a good surge through here. We've got 3-on-2, 2.5 if you count the safety. I finally run this away from the over. So notice we've got the over into the boundary here. So we're pulling a bunch of guys away. We're hoping we can sneak something because there's a lot of space over here that we want to play with. Let's see, how do we... So this shouldn't happen on zone. This is a really big D end here. And we let him get inside. Ideally, this whole line should wash this guy down, and the B-back should be able to come outside of it. We just weren't that lucky. Another slant. So if we're running 112, that's going to be a slant up here. I'm going to guess our pass protection was not great this game. Did I change this, or did I mess up what I called this? What did everyone else run? Oh, we threw the arrow. That's why that looks so weird. Okay, so quick arrow route to the flat. All right, steal the arrow. That's easy. All right, so we've got over again. Notice that they have not really brought this safety over. They stopped respecting our over, which at this point I haven't called a good game, so makes sense for them to do that, whether that's intentional or not. If this is going to be midline right, so we have our normal midline where he's going to come... Ooh, I take that back. So we're going to insert on the play side, and this is going to look like triple, and we're going to lead with both guys through the hole. At least that's what it's supposed to look like. Let's see how that turns out. We block the midline key. Hold up. Oh, all right. This actually goes pretty... this goes super well. It happened so fast, I was too busy watching. So here's our read key. We get a really good down block here. Right, so here's our guard is on that play side tackle. This is our read key. The ball's already passed. We've got this nice little midline lane here. We come inside. Luckily, we get a good backside scoop. on the backside backer. That's probably our best play of the day. And again, our huddle focus camera missed a few, so I'm not crossing my fingers that I had something better planned up, but you never know. Okay, so if we're going over right... Oh, hold on. Ooh, here's something fun. So this is what a lot of teams will do. You'll notice here's our key on midline. Like, this should be great. We're going to read this kid, and we should get a fan on the outside, and that's money. Like, we love that look. But you'll notice right before the snap, this guy comes down. He shifts a guy or a gap over, which your line should be prepared for that, but you know, it does change the count. It changes what the quarterback's doing. With midline, he's still far enough away that he shouldn't be able to impact the play, but we'll see how that goes. We still get underneath him, but notice he comes hard. So how do we do this? The guard scoops underneath, which was good. Oh, that guy comes down tight. Let's check out the splits. It's hard to tell from here. Theoretically, this guy shouldn't be able to blow up that play, so I do wonder if near the end of the game if our splits got a little bit tight. But that was just a really good play by the D tackle. We're gonna go, oh boy. We're gonna go back to dump, which is what I called that first play. Now notice we are running this out of over, right? So we've got two receivers on the line, which I think I made a video about this already, but if you're passing out of over, you can keep all your normal concepts. You just got to have that inside guy bubble so he doesn't go downfield. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I think he actually caught that. Huddle focus camera was real slow, if you noticed. That's why you've got these big black spaces, because the camera is actually AI going back and forth. We do get that play. We had a new receiver in here. This receiver needs to stay behind the line. It can't be like a quick bubble and run. That's still illegal. So we may have gotten away with one there. It happens. Oh, I remember this play. So we've got a midline right lead, right? We're going to come here. This guy's going to lead through the hole. This should be our read. Now, notice that my A-back turns up before the snap. So he's coming forward. We go midline. And we fumble the ball. This is the only time in my coaching career I was jumping up and down on my sideline for the ref to throw a flag on us. Because we fumbled the ball, but he was going forward at the snap. And the guy looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, no, he was going forward at the snap. That should have been blown dead. Should still be our ball. I lost that fight. So, bad turnover, already a bad game. We get a big play on the pass before, turn the ball over. Ball security has to be important if you're not emphasizing that with your kids. And this is actually, I believe, the last play that we have recorded. So again, I'm throwing out of over. We're going to run what's called a now route, or just now concept, right? We're going to snap the ball and immediately get this guy. We're going to try to get a block here and assume that if we can get to the sideline, it's a foot race between these two. Which is what you should do if a team does not respect your over or doesn't bring the cornerback over. So the ball's a little high, we don't get a great block, and that's the ball game for us at the sophomore level. So, not my best game. I learned a lot from this. It is, again, months later, still painful to watch back. But what I think there are some takeaways that we should probably go over. Which let's go ahead and transition this to coaching points. So if you've made it this far and went through me kind of droning on and on, resist the urge to take the early shot. I still can't believe I did that. Unless you are so certain that they are going to play you a certain way, resist until you know how they're going to react to motion. You'll notice I didn't call triple. I got away from triple when it probably could have helped us in a lot of our basic rules, right? I started throwing tags on midline, probably threw the ball a little bit more than I wanted to. Sometimes you do have a tendency to get away from triple, and I would urge you not to. And the other coaching point, well, one of many actually, but confirm the defensive adjustment to over, right? Maybe put another coach in charge of it or confirming it. If you're in the middle of a game and have huddle sideline available, right, make sure you're double checking. Because I think I could have saved some early headaches for myself and for the team if I had done better at that. But you live, you learn. Luckily, the next two games will be more fun for me to do for this series. But let me know what you think, right? I'm sure some of you have made these mistakes. Feel free to, call me an idiot in the comments. But remember, leave the kids out of it. These are high school sophomores. I'll be policing those. But yeah, let me know. I went through all the plays. Let me know if you like that style, kind of what I'm thinking. Let me know if you want me to go back to what I've done before, where it's picking out a few key plays that are just kind of more focused. But either way, I hope you were able to take something from this. Now that it's the off season, I've got a lot of things I'm working on and have some more help that I think should bring some more content out. So with that, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think and have a great rest of your day.